Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, I'm back in Indianapolis, back in the car, and it is 3:42 a.m. and I'm exhausted. But I have a bunch of things that I have to do tomorrow, a bunch of things I want to do tomorrow, and between all of those things, I don't know that I'm gonna have time to get up and vlog tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, while I'm still awake, I'm gonna go vlog right now, and I'm gonna have this Diet Coke because I had a Diet Coke on the way to the airport the other day, 5 days ago, and that Diet Coke is right here. And I told Alex on the way home, I said, I was drinking this because I was thirsty, and I said, this Diet Coke is really flat. He goes, oh really? I go, well, I mean, it is like 6 days old, 5 days old. He goes, ew, gross. Anyway, okay. Just been sitting in my car for 5 days. So, cheers to the Diet Cokes. There was something I was gonna say as soon as I got in the car. Oh, I know what it was. And this is a good thing that I unpacked my backpack. Alex went right to bed because he has to work in the morning. He actually thinks he's gonna go in late because we got home later than we expected, which I'll explain to you in just a second. But, so he came home and just put his suitcase upstairs and got right into bed. He was so tired, he almost fell asleep on the way home in the car. I felt so bad for the guy. He's so exhausted and he has to work tomorrow, and he was watching shows on the plane. He had downloaded something, I don't know what he was watching, but he usually sleeps when we come home late on the plane, but he didn't this time. And I said to him in the car, I said, you're gonna be really tired tomorrow, babe. And he was like, I know. He was like, but I could kind of go in whatever time I want to go in tomorrow. So he was like, it doesn't really matter. So he'll probably sleep in and go in late tomorrow. And I'm gonna go get the dogs as soon as I can. They're getting baths tomorrow, so they should be done between 11 and 12. Where is my fanny pack back here? So I'll probably pick them up between 11 and 12. Unless I sleep in super late, and then I'll get them in the afternoon if I'm in a rush. I don't wanna rush over there to get them. Because I know when they come home, I'm gonna wanna just cuddle with them and, take a nap or something. So anyway, I was unpacking my backpack that I carry with me on the plane, and I also carry my fanny pack with me too, but I put my backpack up, and then I have this between my feet. But I put in there, I have this, what do you call it? Computer. It's not really a sleeve because it's bigger than that. It has pockets on the outside of it. I think I may have shown it on here or my review channel or something when I bought it, because I got it off of Amazon. It's really nice. And it's just so my computer doesn't get scratched and stuff. But I can put all the cords for it, and the part where that you have to plug into the computer to put the memory cards in, and extra batteries, battery charger. I put all of that in this case. So that case goes into my backpack, plus my camera. And I only have one battery tonight, so as long as this battery goes, I don't even know that I'll make it that long, because like I said, I'm really tired. But that, okay, so the whole computer, all that stuff goes into my backpack. Then my camera goes in my backpack, which I kind of just try to put it in there somewhere where it won't get hurt. And then my iPad, and then just a bunch of other stuff my watch and stuff, or whatever watches I bring, and sunglasses and all that kind of stuff. So it's really heavy. So I was unpacking that tonight because I thought that would be one less thing I have to do tomorrow. And I was taking my computer out of the little slide thing and everything, or the computer, I don't even know what you call that, computer, I don't know. What's that called? a laptop. It's probably got laptop in the title of it. A laptop sleeve or something. But it's not a sleeve, like I said, because it's got pockets in it. It's more of like a folder. I don't even know. Briefcase. It's kind of like a briefcase, but it doesn't have like a handle on it. But maybe you could put a handle on it. It doesn't really matter. You guys are like, who cares? I don't care. Anyway, so I was unloading it, and I was like, I had opened the computer to like make sure that like the Wi-Fi was coming through my computer, so tomorrow when I sit down, I'll just be able to sit down and start, you know, getting stuff done. And my vlog was up because the last thing that I had done on YouTube was uploaded my vlog last night to post tonight. Well, I had it scheduled for 10 o'clock tonight. I don't know why I scheduled it so late. I just thought, well, I'll schedule it when I'm on the plane coming home or whatever. And then I was like, well, maybe whatever comments I get I can address or talk about or whatever, you know, by when I get home. I don't know, for some reason I just was like, I'm gonna like post it when I'm on the plane. So I like was looking at it, and I looked on my phone on YouTube, and it hadn't posted, and I was like, what is going on? And I had scheduled it for 10 o'clock tomorrow night instead of today. I was like, oh my gosh. So I posted it, but at 3:48 in the morning. I was not happy about that, because I like to get it up earlier. I don't really know the right time to post my vlog. If I post it early, like 5 or 6, people are like, you posted it so early, like, now I don't have anything else to watch. If I post it late, a lot of people that are like 5 hours ahead of me, like, you know, in the UK and like European countries, like they like don't get it till the next morning. So I don't really ever know like the right time. And like the West Coast, when I post it, they're 3 hours behind me, sometimes 4 hours behind me. So I don't ever know when to post it. So if you guys have any suggestions on what would be a good time to post it, let me know. We had such a great day today. So last night, I think I said this on the vlog last night, I got this text message about like, you know, checking out of our Airbnb, and they're like, you can check to see if we can accommodate like a late checkout. I hadn't even asked for a late checkout, because I just assumed usually in Airbnbs you can't get a late checkout. When I've tried to get a late checkout, I've been able to check in early, but I haven't been able to check out early. You guys, I have continued to bite the side of my mouth, and so I'm gonna have to talk to the dentist about it. Somebody commented on my video, and they said that they thought that it was a possibility that I was having seizures in my sleep. I'm not having seizures in my sleep. I would know, because back in the day, before I was diagnosed with having seizure disorder, epilepsy, and migraine disorder, like, I was having them in my sleep. And I know what that feels like, and that's not what's happening. What's happening is, because I read this article about it, it's usually like, a lot of people like chew on the side of their mouth like this from stress and anxiety, but I'm not doing that. Like, I don't do that during the day. Maybe every once in a while because it's in my way now, but like, I don't typically do that. But it can be from your like teeth not being aligned, which I really think that's what it is like my bite is not, because when I go like this, it hurts over here. Like, I can feel where I'm biting into it. So I feel like my bite is not aligned. And what happens is you keep on biting into the same place over and over and over again. I read this article about it, and it actually can be really dangerous to the point where they have to take like a biopsy of it. They can also go in, what was like the brand? It was like a chewing gum, like institute, like the Trident Institute. I think I was reading this article. You can also like go in and they can like remove like tissue in that area so you don't continue to bite in that area. But I actually have a dental appointment coming up anyway. It was supposed to be in June, but I moved it to July. I think it's like the 8th or something like that. It's around then. So when I go in, I'm gonna ask about that because it's just really bothering me. It's really driving me crazy. I don't care about the list, but the list doesn't bother me. It was so funny because like Alex really hasn't said anything about the lisp, and so when we were on vacation, I said, there was one night and I said, babe, you haven't said anything to me about like me lisping a lot. And he was like, well, I knew that like when you were a little kid, it was like a really poor, you know, subject for you. Like you didn't like it brought up. So I didn't want to say anything about it. Because I had told him, I said, you know, like, well, Tanya said something. She was like, one night, she was like, that lisp is just not going away. She's like, do you keep on biting the side of your mouth? And I was like, Tanya, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, look, it's called Cozy Spa, just like a cozy mystery. So Alex was like, yeah, it's really noticeable. And he was like, I mean, he was like, it does, you know, it's cute. He was like, it's whatever, you know. And I was like, well, it's bothering me because I'm like, I'm continuing to bite into the side of my mouth. So like 2-3 weeks ago, I did it, and I thought it would be cleared up by now. And I think last night or the night before, I bit into my mouth. I think it was, I don't know. I think I bit into it again because I woke up and it's like just like really sore on that side. Like when I go like this, I can feel it up in here. I don't even really know how to explain how it feels. I can feel it like if I put my finger in my mouth, like I can feel like the area where I keep on biting into it. It feels kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say it. It feels kind of fleshy. I don't know how to explain it other than that. So anyway, I'm hoping that the dentist can. Cirillo's is hiring, by the way. There's a now hiring sign at Cirillo's in case you're looking for a job. Don't forget to use my code, adamandeve.com. Code Peter. I just think it's so weird when you see these things on the side of the road. It just says like Facebook and Google ads, and then there's a number. Like Facebook and Google ads for what? It doesn't even make any sense. But anyway, so that's that. Posted my vlog, got that up. So we got up today. Oh, so anyway, we got a late checkout. And Alex had said to me last night, I was the one that was wanting to go to this breakfast buffet. And he was like, babe, if you want to go to the breakfast buffet, we can get up early for it. Because the first day we ate there, I didn't know there was a buffet. I was like, oh my God, there's a buffet. I didn't know that, right? So I wanted to go there the whole week. Which, this is so typical of me, that I always want to get up for breakfast, but they don't have the breakfast buffet. Because I feel like they should have the breakfast buffet till like 2. But they don't. They only ever have it till like 11. I think on the weekends they had it till noon. And it was at the Habitat at the one hotel. So we stayed in the residences, which is like you can live at the one hotel, which I can't even imagine. Actually, the company that we rented the condo from is like, I think through the people that sell the condos. And so they put this flyer, like they had it in our room when we got there. It was like this really nice note and stuff that they had handwritten. And then they put this flyer in there, and on the back of it, I wish I had it with me. I would tell you because we were just like blown away. The prices to have like the price. Okay, so for what we had, I mean, honest to God, like I know it sounds like a lot, like for me, but like honest to God, for like where you are and what you get. Okay, so you can get what we had, which is a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath, full kitchen, living room, but you don't get like a dining room, anything like that. Your patio's rather small. I mean, you're in a hotel, but for a residence like that, for that, which the one we stayed in is the smallest residence you can have, I think it's 1.5 million. And then it goes all the way up to like 13 million. But with that, you get like, we're not looking, that is not a place we are looking at. I just want to clarify that. We have it narrowed down between Brickell and Midtown. Those are the 2 areas that we want to place in. I feel like I keep on saying this and people get very confused by this. We're like not moving to Florida full time. Like our plan is to go back and forth between Indianapolis and Florida. Like, I mean, eventually maybe we would go to Florida full time, but like, even if we bought a place tomorrow, we would go back and forth between Indianapolis and Florida for like the next 10 years. I mean, there's no, our dream is to like be down there for like 2 months, be like here for 2 months. Like, we don't want to be in Florida full time. So the areas that we like are called Midtown and Brickell. We've also heard really good things about Coral Gables, but it's very pricey and it's kind of far away. And, so, I don't know. The other thing is we have to kind of think of some areas that, like, I mean, Alex's mom at some point, I mean, she's still very young, but at some point, I mean, she'll probably live with us. And, so, I mean, wherever we get a place will probably be a place that will be, you know, comfortable and safe for her as well. So, I mean, that's definitely something that Alex and I talk about and think about when we're, like, looking at places. The area of Weston in Miami, I guess, actually, like, we've heard this from, like, tons of people that, like friends of the family. There's a lot of, like, and a lot of, like, Alex has, like, he has had some cousins that moved down there to Weston, and in Miami they call it Westonzuela. Like, it's like where a lot of Venezuelans go and live. So I don't know, but the areas that we're looking at are Midtown and Brickell, and probably Midtown. Brickell's a little pricier for us. So, so we got up today and we slept in. We had to be out of the room by 1, and I think we left the room like right at like 12:30. And we went down and we checked out, and they held our bags for us all day, but we were already like in our bathing suits and stuff. And then we went and got coffee. There's a really cute little coffee shop in there. It's called Neighbors. And we went and got coffee. And then we walked down and went and talked to Susie and her fiance that we had met, the fitness Instagrammer, because she and her fiance, like, so she was releasing her, it was really exciting. She was releasing all of her, like, summer collection of her, like, activewear, because it's all, like, fitness activewear. She is, like, puts all this stuff out. I was blown away when I was looking at her Instagram. I mean, she has, like, resistance bands and all this stuff, and they say, like, Susie B Fitness on it. It's really cute. And so she came out with, like, they're like glute bands and all this kind of stuff, and the collections are really cute. She has 2 summer ones. One's like something from Florida, and the other one, and it's like oranges all over it, and the other one is like sailors, and it's like blue and white stripes. It's really cute. So anyway, she was like at a certain area of this one pool, like not the main pool. There's like the main pool, and then there's a residence pool, and then there's the residence pool is really the third pool. There's the main pool, and then when you go down, there's like this long, skinny, narrow pool, which is actually where we spent the first 2 days. She was there, and she was like taking pictures and videos. Good thing there's nobody around. And videos and stuff for her Instagram to post the activewear. And, so she had just finished that, and they were like just like laying out. So we went over there and we said hi to them and talked to them for a couple minutes. She and her fiance are so friendly. I want to keep on saying husband because they just seem like they've been married forever, but they are so nice, and we had such a good time, you know, like talking to them. And I was messaging her last night and stuff. So, so anyway. Then we went, Alex was like, well, do you want to just stay here at the pool? Because it was super cloudy and it looked like it was going to start raining. And I was like, I really want to be on the beach the last day. Because I can go to a pool here, right? And I don't, what is with lights anymore? Do you guys believe in the thing about, like, if you're, like, at a certain point? I'm not even past the thing. I don't understand what's going on. The light here never changes. Oh, I say that and then it changes. So we went down to the beach, and there was, like, literally, you guys, nobody on the beach. Like, nobody on the beach. There was, like, one other couple besides us. And so the guy was, like, so nice. He was like, where do you want to sit? He was like, you can sit anywhere. And we were like, he was like, you want to sit in the front row? And we were like, yeah. So we were literally, like, 20 feet from the water. And I was like, I'm gonna get in the water, and Alex was like, it's gonna rain. And I was like, okay. And usually he doesn't care about stuff like that, which that was funny, you know. But so anyway, so I got in the water, and Miami, like, the water this week has been like crystal clear, like crystal clear, and so warm. And today there was a sandbar, and it was like, honest to God, like probably a half a mile out. I mean, it was far out. And I was so proud of myself, you guys, because usually, like, I'll go with Alex or something. Because, you know, like, if you go to a sandbar, like, it gets real deep before it gets, like, you know, you go and deeper, and then it gets, like, real shallow. I don't like that deep part. And all that I think of is that, like, a shark is going to come along, like, while I'm out there. Especially since the last time that I was out there, there was a shark that they had spotted. So, and yesterday we were in the water, and this guy said something about a shark, and Alex goes, he said he just saw a shark over there. I go, Alex, don't say that. I'll be out of this water and I won't want to get back in. He goes, no, he really did say something. And I heard the guy say something, but I don't think he said anything about a shark. I don't know. It sounded like he said something to do with a shark, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. So Alex was like, he said something about a shark over there. I was like, he goes, he said it was like this big. I was like, Alex, don't say that. But anyway, so I went way out to the sandbar, and my husband, let me just tell you, okay? He is obsessed with that game, Township. Like, he plays, if the phone, where's my phone? If the phone is sideways like this, I know he's playing Township. He is on his phone all the time playing Township. So I look, he's on the beach, right? Just like sitting there in the chair playing Township because it's getting ready to rain, so he's under the umbrella. And I'm out there on the sandbar, and it started to rain. And I was like, damn it, it's our last day. I can't believe it's raining. So anyway, I was just like, well, hell's bells. I'm in the water anyway. Who cares? I might as well get wet, you know? So I stayed out there in the water, but it didn't really rain that hard. It just kind of sprinkled. But the clouds, it was just like black clouds. And I was like, oh, this is our last day here, of course. You know, I was so thankful that we had so many nice days, because I had heard that the weather in Miami, like, I had looked it up, and it just said rain every day and cloudy. We had, like, fantastic weather. Like, every day was so nice. So that was at, like, if we got down to the beach at, like, 12:30, no, if we got down to the beach at, like, 1 o'clock, I think we were down there before 1 o'clock. If we got down to the beach by 1 o'clock, so we must have left our room more like 12-ish. Then by 1:30, you guys, it was completely sunny skies and just wispy clouds. Beautiful. Beautiful day for the rest of the day. There was like one other spot where the clouds kind of came over for like 10 or 15, probably 15, 20 minutes. And then that was it. It was a beautiful day. It was so funny because we were out in the water at one point. We actually, so Alex came into the water, and then we walked back out to the sandbar, and I was like, I walked all the way out here. And yesterday I was in the water, and there was like this huge school of fish, and all the fish were like probably like this big, and they all just like came like around me. There's like literally, you guys, no exaggeration, like 50 to 100 fish. And I was like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I don't mind fish at all. Like, to snorkel or something, that wouldn't bother me at all. But to like have them all like swarming around me, I don't like it. Made me feel very weird. And then today I was standing there, I was just like so relaxed, and this like wave kind of like came over, and this like fish jumped from the wave, and it was like this small like skinny fish. I was like, oh, I don't like that. I was like, Alex, I think it's a barracuda. And he was like, it wasn't a barracuda. He goes, or no, I said, I think it was a, he goes, what was it? And I go, probably a barracuda. And he goes, mm-hmm. And I go, well, I do think that it was, what did I call it? I called it a stingfish. And he goes, what's a stingfish? I go, well, it could have stung me. And it was, I said it was a jumping stingfish, is what I called it. So anyway, we walked way out to the sandbar, and I mean, literally, you could walk out of the sandbar and you're out in the almost middle of the ocean. If you ever go to Miami, this is how far out the sandbar was. It was where the boats come along, and they have those like billboards on them, you know? We were like probably like 50 feet from where those boats are. And we're way out there, 50 or 100 feet. We're like way out there. And like Alex was up to like his calves that's how, like, I mean, it was literally only like that deep out there on the sandbar. I love sandbars. I don't know what it is about sandbars, but I think they're so cool. So anyway, we sat out there all day long, and I downloaded a bunch of music that I had Shazammed the whole week. And then, because like everywhere we went, of course, they had great music. So I was like Shazamming stuff all week long. So I bought a bunch of songs on iTunes. And then we got nachos for the last day because they make nachos on kettle chips. And they're so incredible. And I love them so much. So I had to have them my last day. And Alex got some too. I get the veggie ones and he gets the ground beef. They're so good, you guys. It's just literally like queso and... Is there guac? There's guac and sour cream and like pico de gallo on my nose was bothering me. It's like as soon as I get back into Indianapolis, it's like the allergies start up again. Pico de gallo like on these kettle chips, and it's so good. I actually am really obsessed with that place we went last night, Sugar, and the poke bowl that I had. And I said to Alex, I said, is there any place in Indianapolis that I can go and get a poke bowl? I never even really like, I mean, I had heard of them before, but like I had never gotten one before. And he was like, oh, Fufu and Jesse make them all the time, my brother-in-law and his girlfriend. I was like, yeah, I think I've seen it on his Instagram. And he was like, when we go back out to San Diego, we'll have to have them like make us one for dinner some night. And they cook a lot. He and Fufu and his girlfriend cook a lot. And they make all kinds of like really extensive meals and stuff. And so Alex was like, actually the other day at work, we just ordered in from this new place that has like poke bowls and stuff and Fishers. So he texted me the name of the place. I may go tomorrow or tomorrow night and get that for dinner because that sounds so good. So... yeah, and then we went up at like 5:15. We went up to the pool, and the main pool, and I got in the pool. Alex did not get in the pool. And I stayed in the pool for about a half an hour. And, you know what's interesting is, and this isn't just there, this was like at the Fontainebleau too, or the, I don't know how you pronounce it, Fontainebleau. Anyway, Fontainebleau is what I call it, so I know that's probably wrong. There's like all these like young kids, like there were these kids sitting next to us today. Like, I mean, there weren't that many people at the pool when we went up there. And there was these 3 kids and 3 guys, and they weren't getting in the water. I don't even think they were 21. I think they were probably, no, because they were talking about going to a club, so they would have had to have been 21 unless they had fake IDs. But if they were 21, they were like just 21. And they, all 3 of them, no, 2 out of the 3 of them, first of all, they were just on their phones the whole time. And they wouldn't get in the water. And 2 out of the 3 of them had like these massive Rolex watches on. And then they all had like, everything was like, they were just, I mean, they looked like they were totally just like, they had rolled out of bed and thrown on some clothes. Like they, like not like it was a thought, like put together, like what to have on or whatever. But like each of them had very like expensive clothes on that they looked like they just had thrown on. And I'm like, where are these kids? And it was like that. It was like that at the Fontainebleau when we stayed there too. I was like, where are these kids that are this young getting this kind of money? Like, I don't get it. I was like, they were talking, they were pretty foul mouthed too. I was like, they're probably TikTokers. But anyway, so I stayed in the pool for a while Alex stayed on the bed. Oh, he was editing pictures because we took some pictures when we came up. I posted some pictures on my Instagram, so. And then, oh, you know, one of the things I thought about, I don't know when this came to me. I actually emailed it to myself because I was like, I have to think about this. You know, I have all this merch in my merch shop. But I really, like, whenever I think about putting merch together, I always think about, like, merch for, like, my drama channel sayings. And I was thinking about this because somebody commented on my vlog one night. I was reading the comments, and they said something about, I mean, every once in a while, like Troy or somebody will say, like, how much it means to them when I say one more I love you. Karen said something one night. I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, I could have merch. It stopped. I was saying that, I mean, I could, you know, make some merch that said some things on there, like, just like, be kind, you know, most importantly, be kind, or, always lead with love. Or I could have one that said something like, you know, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Or one more I love you. And just some of those things I say at the end. I thought about putting that together. Would anybody be interested in that? I mean, I literally would only just do it for, like, the people that watch the vlog, because nobody else would care. But I actually thought about that this week. So I was like, because somebody was like, when are you going to put some new merch out? And I was like, well, I don't really know that I want to just take the same sayings that I have and just put them back up there with, like, different, you know, graphics or graphic design or whatever. So I was like, well, maybe I'll take some of my vlog little things I say at the end, if anybody would be interested in that. So, after the pool, we were at the pool till like 20 after 6, something like that. Then we went up, Alex changed, then I changed, and then I was having a Diet Coke and he got a Coke because he was like really tired. He was like, we were both just kind of like, oh my God, like we still have to, like, we weren't gonna, oh, so our flight didn't leave till 9:52. So we didn't even have to really get to the airport until like 8. So we got an Uber. It was funny because, like, right before we left, I was talking to this other couple, and they were like, oh, how long are you here for? And I was like, we're actually just getting ready to get in an Uber and fly out tonight. And they're like, where are you from? And I was like, Indiana. And they're like, oh my God, we're from Indiana too. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And they're from the same city that my friend Valerie's from. And her son had actually, like I said, oh, do you know any blah, blah, blahs? And her son had actually done some business with them, which is so crazy. What a small world, right? And so that was funny. They were really nice. We talked to them. Then we got to the airport, and it seemed like everything was just taking a long time. I wanted to make sure I had all my devices charged so I could watch my shows once I got on the plane. I was so ready to watch Manifest. So then they postponed putting us on the plane. Then we got on the plane, and they had us all ready to go. And then the flight attendant, this woman, came over. They were all really nice, but there's like this one grouchy flight attendant. We've had her, like, this is the second time that she's been like our flight, maybe even a third flight attendant coming home late at night. She's always real grouchy. So she came on the thing, and she said that we were waiting for the crew. Well, the plane was supposed to leave at 9:52, and this was at like 10 after 10. And I'm like, we're waiting for the crew at 10 after 10. And this actually happened to us last time when we were, it must have been in Florida. So, at like 10:15, the pilot walks on, and I looked at Alex and I go, the pilot is just showing up right now. Like, this is weird. And I, you know, just started watching that show Manifest, which, if you guys haven't seen it, it's about this plane that goes missing, they don't know where, for 5.5 years. So I'm like getting ready to watch this show that I'm like all like weirded out by anyway. Which I actually think I'm going to do like a funny rant tomorrow about all the shows I'm watching, so I'll save it for tomorrow what I was going to say. But, so, I'm like, when we got on the plane, I started watching my shows, because I was like, I'm not going to wait anymore. I had all these treats, I had peanut butter M&Ms, Oh my god, those are my favorites, I think. And then I have peanut butter M&Ms and peanut M&Ms and peanut butter M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms and peanut M&Ms. And I love them so much. I love M&Ms. Which is so funny because as a kid, I didn't love M&Ms. My favorite candy bar as a kid was, and I do still love it, is a whatchamacallit. Or 100,000 grand. I love that too. So anyway, I was sitting there and I started watching Manifest. I think I finished the third or fourth, I think the fourth episode maybe. The episodes aren't super long. Here's the deal. The acting is super cheesy. And for some reason, I just wasn't really into it. And it was kind of like messing with my head a little bit, like the whole concept behind the show anyway. So I was like, you know what? I don't think tonight is the night for me to watch this. Well, I had downloaded like the entire rest of the season of Them, which is on Amazon Prime or HBO Max. I think it's on Amazon Prime. But I didn't really feel like watching that either because even though that show is like scary about the paranormal and stuff like that, it's like, it's super deep too. And I was just wanting to watch something that was going to be like mindless on the plane, that was going to make time go fast. So, and that show Them, sometimes when I'm watching it, it makes me super nervous. And I was like, I don't know if that's a great show for me to watch. See, I'm thinking this all through, right? So, where am I at on time? I started watching, I downloaded this show. I didn't know, we must have still been sitting there because, okay, so this was the deal. I started watching Manifest and I tweeted out last night something about, was it last night or the night before? I don't know. But I tweeted something out about like, oh, I'm so excited that I'm going to watch Manifest. Like, even though the show is extremely cheesy, it's very addicting. I think this was last night. And somebody tweeted me and said, yeah, and they canceled it after the third season, and they canceled it on a cliffhanger. Like, it ends on a cliffhanger. And I was like, what? Like, seriously? Every show I watch that I get into gets canceled. So I was like, there are some shows I've been real bitter about them canceling. Looking on HBO was such a fantastic show. They came back, they did a 2-hour finale to it. Red Band Society, I loved that show. They came back and they canceled that. Well, they didn't do an ending to that. Dead Like Me, about the grifters. Oh my god, I loved that show. I think there's another show called Dead Like Me out now, but that Alex watched. But Dead Like Me, back in the day, about the girl that gets hit in the head and dies because the toilet falls from the space shuttle from outer space. I love that one. But they had to do a movie on that one too because they ended it after like 2 or 3 seasons. And so they came and had a movie just to wrap it all up. And those movies that they wrap it all up in are never good enough, are they? We like need a whole season, I think. So anyway, I started watching Black Summer, which I didn't know anything about. I saw that it was trending on Netflix, so I looked it up. It was a zombie show. I love everything by zombies, about zombies. I can't believe I hadn't heard of this show. I don't know how I hadn't heard of this show. So I Googled it to see. I wanted to look on the Wikipedia page to see if it got canceled too. Because if it got canceled too, I wasn't getting into 2 canceled shows. And you know what Alex said when I told him that it was like only 3 seasons? He goes, well, that's at least 3 seasons. I was like, okay, he would watch a show and it would just end, you know? But anyway, so I also read this article that Netflix was like thinking about picking it up and optioning it to continue it, but they decided against it. I'm like, so you put out 2 seasons of this show. Like, this makes no sense to me, okay? So you put 2 seasons of this show out that was originally on NBC. It does so well that for several days in a row, it's #1 on your trending chart, and you decide not to option it, to renew it, for Netflix to do it. Why not? Like, even The Killing, when AMC canceled it, why, I'll never know, because there's another show that got canceled, one of my favorite shows of life, The Killing, and Netflix picked it up because AMC had done 3 seasons of it. Netflix picked it up, and they did the 4th season to it. So I don't know why Netflix couldn't do that with Manifest and just end it, you know? Do one more season and just end it. That's what they should do. And they'd make a lot of money off of it, I think. You know, probably. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it's expensive to film that show because it's a zombie show. Maybe shows are just super expensive to shoot anyway. Do they even really make money off of TV shows? I don't even know. Commercials and things. But on Netflix, there's no commercials, so. The billboard in the ocean today was showing some new Pixar movie, and it actually looked like they were diving into the ocean and stuff in it. I was like watching the billboard while they were playing it. I was like, oh, that's kind of like a Disney, or that's an animated movie that I would probably watch. I can't remember what it was called. Something, Luca, maybe? Has anybody watched this movie or heard of it? Is it any good? I always try to keep up with those movies, so, for my nephews. And whenever they come over, and I'm always like, you guys, we can watch whatever you want to watch. And I always put something on, and it's something that they hate. And, although last time, was it last time that Sebastian just came over with my mother-in-law? She brought him over, and we put on Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. I can't remember. And he just sat there the whole time and ate pizza. And he just like, she had brought pizza over for him. He just sat there and watched Finding Dory or Finding Nemo eating pizza. My battery just went to the halfway mark, so God knows how much longer I have. But anyway, we just passed the 11-minute and 15-second mark on the second leg of the second leg of the video. So finally the captain's like, okay, we're gonna be taxiing off here in just a second. And then he said something that didn't even make any sense. Well, first of all the flight attendants were like at the front, and they were all kind of like whispering to each other. And then they went like halfway back, and they were talking to these guys, and they were having them like move like their seats and whatever. And I heard the one flight attendant, like the grouchy one, she said something about like they have really strong accents. I don't know from where, but it's like, she said it's something about like, she was like, maybe you'll understand what he's saying better or something like that. So she sent this other flight attendant to go talk to them. And then they were like moving seats around because it was like these three guys that came together or something like that. I mean, I don't know, but they were kind of like making a big deal out of it. And this was like right before we got on, the flight took off. And then the captain's giving us all these reasons. And I'm like starting to like freak out a little bit on the plane, you know? I don't love to fly anyway. And God knows, this was kind of our joke on the way back. So I kept on saying stuff, and Alex, well, he said something. What did he say? And I go, well, you know, I have a true crime book club that I run with Mel. And he goes, so that makes you an expert. I go, actually, it does. I'm a murderino and a citizen detective, and I have a true crime book club. So yeah, it does make me an expert. And what were we talking about? I don't even remember now. It was so funny. Oh, it wasn't the flight, but I did tell him. I said, something's going on. Tell me this last part wouldn't freak you out. Okay, so there we are. We're sitting there in the plane. He pulls out, and then we're just sitting there for another 15, 20 minutes. And then he's like, finally comes on, he's like, yeah, there's like 7 or 8 planes ahead of us. I'm like, at 10 o'clock at night? Oh, it just went out of focus. Come on now. I'm like, there's 7 or 8 planes ahead of us at 10 o'clock at night. Now, at this point, it was like almost 10:30. I was like, there's no way that there are 2 or 3 planes ahead of us. There's just no way. Or 7 or 8 planes ahead of us. So we just sit there, and we sit there, and we sit there. And then Alex goes, there's a lightning storm. And I go, what? And he goes, look outside, there's a lightning storm. And he took like video of it and showed me. I'm gonna have to stop this, you guys, and start it over, because it's just gonna keep on like going out of focus. Hold on a second. Okay, I don't know why it does that, but if I don't just, like, I have to turn the whole camera off and restart it. So anyway, Alex is talking about this lightning storm. Well, if you've seen Manifest, okay, there's like lightning and thunder and then this huge turbulence, which has something to do with why their plane goes missing for 5.5 years. And so now my mind is like, oh my God, here we are. Something's gonna happen to this plane. There was no turbulence in the plane. The flight was fine. But he kept on saying it's a 2-hour and 22-minute flight, 2-hour and 22-minute flight. And most of the times when we fly to Florida, they're always like, oh, well, we're going to catch the tailwind coming up the East Coast, and it will take us, instead of 2 hours and 22 minutes, we're going to get you in tonight at an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes. It's usually always shorter. And he just kept on saying 2 hours and 22 minutes, 2 hours and 22 minutes. And I was like, and if you watch this show as well, this is why I can't watch these shows, y'all, because if you watch these shows, there's something about numbers, okay? The number of the plane, 250, I think it's 852 or 820, I don't know, 258 or something. And he kept on saying 222, 222, and then our gate was D22. And so I said to Alex, I was like, I don't like this. There's something going on. Alex goes, what? There's something going on. He's sitting there watching his show. He's like, there's nothing going on. I'm like, okay, they're telling us it's going to take us 2 hours and 22 minutes to get there. We were gate D22. I'm like, all of a sudden, like, Final Destination, thinking about all this kind of stuff, right? So finally we leave. Are you ready for this? We left at like, we were like an hour and like, almost an hour and a half late leaving, that we were sitting there with really no explanation. So finally, we're up in the air, everything's smooth, everything's going well, blah, blah, blah. Got my little Coke, was sitting there eating my M&Ms. You know, they came down, they brought the Coke and all that stuff. I'm eating my little M&Ms, I'm watching my show, oh, this was the thing. So I started watching Black Summer, which it started in 2019, and I guess just last week they released the second season of it. So I don't know if it's been picked up yet. Probably not. It'll probably be canceled because I watch it now. But I actually have to tell you, it's a really good zombie show, except that all zombie shows are like almost exactly the same. And I feel like that they just follow the same recipe of zombie shows because they think that it's very much like Fear the Walking Dead, or what's the one that The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking. It reminds me of both of those. Actually, a little bit more of like Fear the Walking Dead, but I liked both of those shows, and then which is why I stopped watching them, right? Because I liked them so much. So funny, Alex on this trip, he's like, "Did you ever finish?" We were talking about. Oh, I said, that's where Dexter works, because we passed, like, we were on the interstate going to dinner last night, and we passed the Miami Police Department, and I go, oh, there's where Dexter works, and he goes, or Michael from Jane the Virgin. I go, oh yeah, Michael from Jane the Virgin, I forgot. He goes, did you ever finish that series? I go, no. He goes, you were so into it. It was, the reason he watched it was because I started watching it, because they had all won, Golden Globes for Jane the Virgin. I think she did. I can't remember what her name is. She's so good. I love her. And so I started watching Jane the Virgin. Then I got Alex hooked on it because he was like, it's based off of a Venezuelan telenovela or something like that, which he grew up watching, and his grandma, she still watches them. And she's like real into them. They are so exaggerated. If you guys watched them, they're like, oh, like it's just like so exaggerated. Oh! You know, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so we're getting to Indianapolis. He tells us we're getting ready to land. We'll be on the ground in 5 minutes. Everybody's putting their stuff up. Everybody's getting ready, right? Now tell me this wouldn't freak you out, okay? So we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. We're probably, I don't know, 200 feet from the ground. Like, literally, we're like, I'm not even lying to you guys, 20 seconds from touching down. And he goes like this. And goes back up. And I was like, what just happened? And I looked at, and nobody noticed, you guys. And I looked at Alex and I go, did we almost just land? And then he went back up into the air, and he goes, yeah. And I go, what just happened? And I'm like looking at the flight attendants, and they're like they're just like talking to each other and like looking at their phones and stuff like that, because they probably have, you know, like unbelievable Wi-Fi that flight attendants can get, but we can't, or something. So I was like, what just happened? And he goes, and I'm like looking around, and like nobody noticed it. Not one person noticed that we almost landed. The red truck's over here today. Oh, you know what? All these people there's a couple people out here. They're waiting for it to open. There's like a van right there waiting for it to open. I'm like, what? I don't even understand what just happened. And Alex is like, I could tell because he's like looking out the window too. Like we literally went back up into the air over Indianapolis, and I could tell like Alex was kind of like, okay, this is freaky, but he was like trying not to play into it because he knew as soon as he said, oh, this is really weird, I would like freak, and I'd be like, okay, what is going on? And start demanding that people tell us things and whatever. Like I said, okay, I'm a murderino, I'm a citizen detective, and I demand answers. No, I don't. But I was like, so then I really did start to kind of like freak out a little bit, because I was like, that's exactly what happens in the Manifest show. And I was like, how is this? I just watched a show and like literally everything that happens in the show is happening to us, because they're supposed to land at like JFK or LaGuardia or something in New York City, and they have them go and land at this other airport that's like, he said it's like a spit from New York City or whatever, but it's like this small one where they can contain them. And so I was like, if he comes on the radio and tells us that we're landing in Louisville, or that we're landing at like Midway, like north of, like south of Chicago, but like north of, Midway is one of Chicago's airports, but it's like close to northern Indiana. I was like, or just some random airport, I was like, I am going to freak, like something is going on. So then he comes on, after like 10 minutes, he comes on, he was like, I don't even understand this. I have like literally, I've been flying since I was like 5 years old as a kid, and I have never heard this before. He was like, yeah, we caught like something to do with the wind on the tail when he was like trying to land, and it was too forceful, so he had to go back up and around to re-land the plane. I was like, what? What are you even talking? So to come and land the opposite way, I don't know, it was making me very nervous. I didn't like any of it. I was real over all of it. I was very nervous. So anyway, that was it. We landed, and then usually we both go and get our bags, and then we like take them all the way up to the car, drive, pay our parking ticket, and then we're on our way. And so I said, but usually the bags just come like super quick, especially late at night. And I was like, the Indianapolis airport, I will say this is one of the most efficient airports. It's a different airport. We had a different one like when I was growing up, and they rebuilt this whole new airport. My friends and I used to go walk around the old airport. We'd always like, that was before you, like, you know, when you could just walk back, there was like no TSA and all that kind of stuff, or, you know, and you could just walk back there and look at the gates, and we'd be like, okay, where do we want to go tonight? We would just like pick a flight and act like we were going there. That was so much fun back in the day. But anyway, so, oh, the sky is pretty. I was actually kind of wondering this earlier. I was like, I wonder if it's a full moon. It's not a full moon, but it's kind of a cool moon. A cruel moon? Not a cruel moon, a cool moon. But anyway, so when we were coming down the escalator to baggage claim, I said, do you want me just to go get the car, and then I can pull it up, and then can you get the bags? And he was like, if you want. He was like, I mean, it's, you know, he said, you'll still have to do a loop and come back around. And I think he was thinking it was going to take me so long to like go get the car and stuff, and I thought it would be quicker. And I said, okay, I'll go do it. I said, can you get both of the bags? He's like, yeah, no problem. So, by the way, let me just tell you, for, when did we leave to fly out there? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, for 4 nights and 5 days. Alex's bag was 53 pounds and mine was 43 pounds. That's how much stuff we take with us. Alex took like 4 pairs of shoes. And he wears most of his stuff, too. That's what cracks me up. 53 pounds. They let him on with it. I was kind of surprised. I thought they were going to make him take stuff out, but I was like, well, I won the bag this time, Alex, because mine is a lot lighter. I was worried mine was going to be heavy. I'm always worried it's going to be heavy. So, yeah. So that was that. So I went and I drove around. I paid for the ticket for the parking. Or I went and got the car, paid for the ticket for the parking, came back around, and Alex is like, they haven't even started putting the bags out yet. So I just sat in the car. I was like, do you want me to come in? He was like, no, which I would have just let the car running because you can't park there. And so then, like, he was like, the bags aren't even coming out yet. So then they did start coming out, and he got his bag, and then he texted me, and he was like, your bag isn't coming out. I was like, this is what we're gonna do tonight, huh, God, right? You're gonna make me stressed out about this flight, and then my bag's not gonna show up, but it did. So God's on my side. Oh. But anyway, we made it home safely. That's all that matters. And now I'm vlogging, and I'm gonna listen to some Dexter here in just a minute, and kind of get into that book a little bit. We had a good trip. I could have stayed down there longer. The thing is, like, honestly, like, for me, like, I could have been down there for 10 days. I mean, Alex, you know, has a lot of work stuff that he has to do. I could have just been down there for 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever. The only thing is, I really miss the dogs. If we could take our dogs and just be, like, at an Airbnb, I would be totally fine. When we thought that they might lock us down again, Alex and I actually talked about that. We were like, because, like, in Indiana, like, the weather really got very warm last year until, like, June, you know, when they started, like, lifting up on the lockdown a little bit. And when was it that our neighbors went to Florida? I think it was in January. So Alex and I actually talked about it, because we're like, if they do another lockdown, like, let's just, because, you know, Alex was working from home, doing stuff from home, and you know, I mean, I'm making videos, I can do that anywhere. So we had kind of talked about, like, putting the dogs in the car and driving to Florida, getting a place with a pool, if we could, some small little place, and just the 4 of us, you know, hunkering down. We were talking about that on this trip, like, if the dogs would like to go into the ocean, or if they would swim in the water. I was like, I think Boo Radley would, but I don't think Tucker would like it. And what's funny about that is that Boo Radley is horrible with baths. He does not like baths at all. He shakes the whole time, and he acts like you're just torturing him. But Tucker's not that bad about it at all. Boo's gotten really bad about the grooming. That's the thing. So, I don't know what we're gonna do about getting Boo groomed. Right now, he's fine, because he doesn't grow out as fast as Tucker does. But Tucker's at the point where he probably needs to get groomed here in the next probably month or 6 weeks. I don't want to wait until our next trip, because that's not until August. We had talked about maybe going to Miami for just like 2 nights or something like that in like July. But we'll see. It's kind of like, I think it would be a lot of fun to do it, but there's just so much that goes into it, between like boarding the dogs, driving to the airport, driving home from the airport, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, is 2 days even worth it? I know a lot of people are like, the battery is flashing at me. I know a lot of people are like, hell yes, it's worth it. I mean, it is and it isn't. I just feel like, for me, I just have just as much fun. I mean, that's not true. Scratch that. I don't necessarily have just as much fun. It's a different kind of fun, you know? So yeah, but like, I mean, like, Alex will be tired for like the next 3 or 4 days. And I think Thursday night we're going over to my mother-in-law's for like his birthday thing. And then my birthday is next Tuesday. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I kind of am thinking I might just go to my home group meeting, and then afterwards, and see if my sponsor wants to come to our meeting with us that night, and then afterwards, just like some of my friends, like Tanya, my sponsor, and some of my other friends, go out to dinner, and then have Alex meet us. But we'll see. I don't know. Or I may just want to do something special for my birthday and not go to my meeting that night. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get off here now because the battery is dying and I don't want it to just end on like a weird note where I don't even finish it. So, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Always lead with love. Put kindness, compassion, tolerance, understanding, hope, faith, and courage, forgiveness, amazement, wonder, magic, and awe. I love the word magic out there into the world. And I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for watching the vacation vlogs. I always have so much fun doing them, and it means a lot to me that you watched them. So thank you so much, and let me know what you guys think about the merch ideas, and if you have any suggestions for that. And if you're not interested, hey, I'm totally open to that too. So anyway, I love you guys so much. And Alex was like, you know, you could put kind of like have those things that you could put like on your mirror, or like on like just as like a little sticker or something. I was like, that's not a bad idea. So anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. If you made it this far in the video, put a summer emoji, whatever that means to you. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! And since this is my first vlog back from vacation, I have to say, I have to do it. I have to say, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!